Okay, guys, we're back with, I guess, part 2 of my journey. If you haven't seen part 1, then please do go back and have a look at that one, because then it will make more sense. But we're going to talk about, I guess, the second stage, if we can wrap it up into 2 stages, of my journey. So where did we get to? I was
18, employed, owned your own house, had a car. In your view,
had issues with my skin tone.
Yeah. You'll see the other video and see what that means. And also, you hadn't, in your view, had a serious boyfriend at that stage. So okay, so let's continue.
No. And I think as well, at that stage of life, I don't know, did we call each other boyfriend and girlfriend? I don't know, you just kind of dated.
Did you?
Yeah, didn't you?
I don't know.
Did you?
We'll find out later.
We're going to find out in your story, because I think you'll find that, did you have girlfriends?
I've got a really thick heart about that, to tell the truth. It's not about me. It's not about me. I do my thing.
Well done, buying yourself some time.
You won't be here when I do my video.
Yeah,
Mine's going to be private.
Okay.
Restricted access only, you get me?
Oh, there's stuff I don't know?
Well, I don't know.
Let's see. Okay. So I'm at that stage now, and I'm approaching, I guess I'm going towards my 20s, and I'm working. I was working in a bank. I hated my job. But I thought everybody hates their job, because on Monday morning or any morning, I'd be on the train or the tube, and you would see people just looking miserable, and everyone would talk about Monday morning, oh, such a drag. Yeah, Friday's here, we can relax. So I kind of thought that was a natural thing. And so things changed for me in that area when I went to visit my mum, who now lived back in St. Lucia in the Caribbean, and I went to visit her, and there was a homeless, if you can call it homeless, guy out there who used to live in a kind of shack down the end of the road, in the bush, really. Yeah. And he came walking past my mum's house, and he was literally bobbing along, and he was whistling away, and he just seemed so happy, and he just really caught my eye. And I said to my mum, "Who's this man?" And she said he lives down the road and whatever. And I watched him, and he got to the other end of the road, and he untied a cow that was grazing on grass, and then he moved along a couple of posts, tied the cow up again, and walked back, bobbing away, whistling happy. And it's such a simple experience, if you like, of watching this man. But something in me said, I can't do this. I can't go back home, go back to this bank and do what I've been doing, be miserable, and this man who doesn't even have a proper home or doesn't know where his next plate of food is coming from is happy and whistling. And it just really, I don't know, it's such a simple, but it really hit me. Okay. So I came home and I...
Bought a cow?
No. You're so stupid. I've never seen that one coming. No, I didn't buy a cow. I came home and I resigned from my job. I took redundancy from my job, and from there, my life took a very different path, and I began to step into my creative side.
Okay, let's talk relationships. Come on.
Yeah, no. I'm just giving you a picture of where I was in life. So, with regards to relationships, I remember dating a guy who was of white English British heritage, who lived out in the country. A very, very different lifestyle to mine. Okay. And at that time, that kind of interracial couple mix wasn't accepted so much.
Even though you were light skinned?
I'm
just saying.
Just because I'm not... So now you've got issues with my light skin,
No, I'm just saying. Because obviously interracial, people might look at you on the face of it and think, well, you look mixed. You could look past for mixed race as far as white and black.
Have you seen my hair?
I have. But what I'm saying is that obviously, go on, break it down. So it was still an issue.
It was an issue because I met him through work. Okay. And so I guess at work.
But alright, sorry. Okay, no, go on. I'm not going to say that.
I was going to say at work, everyone's just mixed together. It's not, I mean, you're in your work environment. So we even wore uniforms because I was working in the bank. So we kind of not look the same, but do you know what I mean? We were just, it was like a different world. And he wanted to date me. We got on really well as friends, hung out all the time at work and everything, did lunch together and all that. And the day came when he says, I like you, and I think we should be boyfriend and girlfriend. Well, he didn't say it like that, but And I was like, no, I can't see this working. Okay. And all I could think of is my family, where I came from, all that. How would this work? How would this fit? Yeah. And he was quite persistent, and and I liked him as,
Did he romance you?
Romance, well, nah.
No?
Really.
Okay.
Depends on the definition of romance.
Flowers?
No.
Okay. Gifts?
Oh, no. Once we started dating, oh yeah.
But to get to...
No.
Okay.
No. He literally, we'd been out on a work social, and he kind of dropped it in a tube station.
Okay.
Like, well, I liked it. I'm a bit embarrassed. Didn't see that coming. And I really didn't see it coming. I just thought we got on very well.
Yeah.
And so I tried to persuade him it wouldn't work. And he was quite insistent that it would. And I thought it wouldn't. And he said it would. And I thought, okay, fair enough. I'm going to date you to show you that this won't work.
Okay.
Which is a great reason to date someone, right? Not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we started dating, and I enjoyed his company, but I saw a different person outside of work.
Mm-hmm.
And then our lifestyles were so different as well, and so it became more difficult. It got more complicated when we started to see each other outside of work. But I remember one day walking down the high street, the main high street that you would know from where I lived. I don't really want to say the name, but you know what I mean. I don't know. Anyway, it was in the East End of London, and so I was walking down the street with him, and we were walking towards the tube station to go somewhere.
Holding hands, or?
Yeah, I think we were.
Yeah, okay.
I think we might have been holding hands. Yeah, we must have been. I don't know. Anyway, I can't remember. And this car drove past with two black guys in there, and they literally beat their horn repeatedly and put their window down and shouted out, "Sell out!"
Okay.
And I just thought, oh my gosh. And it's clear they were talking about me, that like the eye contact.
Yeah.
And I just thought, oh my goodness, this is like, is this abuse? This is, But, and then when I went to spend time with his friends, they were really, like they'd stare at me a lot, and they'd stare at my hair, which by the way was relaxed at the time. So I'm thinking not too far removed from theirs, but clearly. And they would literally, I remember going to a pub. Yeah, don't to a pub, but go to a pub, and they literally sat like this, just looking at me and fascinated that their friend would be dating a black girl, and so and then there was an incident where I decided this is over. Okay. He was, for want of a better word, no, I'm not going to say that word. He I don't know how to describe it. He liked me a lot. Probably more than I liked him, and I think we knew that by the end. Yeah. But he would, like you said, shower me with gifts and flowers. Okay. And, he would sit and stroke my skin and stuff, and I found it a bit weird. It's just not what I was used to. And it was difficult. I kind of broke it off with him, and it was a bit difficult, but it had to happen. And thankfully, he met someone who felt the same way about him, and we remained friends at work. Not as close, but we remained friends. And he met someone who he really liked her, and she liked him, and I was so happy. I felt less guilty. I was so happy for him because he was a nice guy, really nice guy. So that was probably one of the relationships that stood out in my mind. But yeah, other than that, it was kind of the typical pattern of guys that would just, we'd start talking, we'd hang out a bit, and then you'd get physical, like kissing and stuff like that, and and then I'd be having sex with them, but feeling I don't know, there was, as time went on as well, I just felt like there was something, I shouldn't be doing this, like this feeling within me, like I shouldn't be doing this. I'm giving myself to somebody, and there's no commitment there or whatever, and my relationships on average would probably last about 2 months. Okay. Because you may not know this, but I'm quite intolerant.
Never knew that.
Not noticed? Yeah, I'm not really good with sort of nonsense. Okay. So it takes maybe 1 or 2 things and I'm out.
Okay. So I'm doing okay then if we're 14
You're doing
years
good,
in.
14 years in. Yeah. Okay. Power of prayer.
Alright, so then what age are we saying now? So you're talking about...
I mean, when I split up with him was probably, I think I was about 22.
Okay. And this feeling you're talking about of when you was kind of in intimacy or in relationships that didn't seem to be going anywhere, what age would you say you were at this stage?
I think that kind of covered throughout, to be honest with you, because one of my longer relationships was probably about a year, and that was with an awful guy. He was like a professional con man. Okay. And I could see it.
Do you remember his name?
Yeah.
Should we?
No.
Sure?
No.
Okay.
I'm healed.
You might have changed now.
I'm healed. I'm fine. All right. But I literally stayed in the relationship because he owed me a lot of money. Okay. Yeah, and he owed my mum some money. Right. And I was kind of, in my mind, I was thinking the minute I get this money back, you are gone. Okay. And I didn't get it back in the end. I had to cut it off. Because
Okay.
at one point he physically, he didn't assault me, but he became physical with me. And so he literally just grabbed me. But he grabbed me here by my clothing and his nail caught my neck.
Okay.
And it didn't cut me, but it you know, like a deep scratch.
Yeah.
And it drew blood to the surface, not pouring down.
Right.
But it was enough for me to think, oh no, this is not right.
Okay.
I've not seen this growing up per se.
Yeah.
And I certainly don't want it for myself. And I was already emotionally detached from him anyway.
Okay,
I was literally hanging in for that money.
Okay.
And it was a lot of money, and it got me into a lot of trouble.
Right.
You know, I got demoted at work, and my mortgage went into arrears and everything. But I won't bore you with this full story. But yeah, so that's the reason why it even lasted that long.
Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have to do a part 3.
Oh.
Because you go into so much detail.
You keep
about
asking me
stuff.
questions.
I can't help it. It's
I could have
interesting.
moved on by now.
So what next one will be kind of more around kind of the changes, the significant change that took place, and how your view of relationships changed at that time.
Yeah.
And then I suppose there's a part of the journey that involves me as well when I come into the scene, like with my shiny armor and the white horse.
Let's
stuff.
end.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye.